Hey everybody, welcome to another Have You Seen It edition of Have You Seen It Lately. I'm your host, Matt Sunner. Welcome to the DJB Productions Network. Hope you're checking out all the great content on our channels. Have You Seen It Lately? Obviously where you're at right now, but DJs After Dark, that way cool wrestling show, capes not included. And no matter what you like, odds are we have a show that will speak to you and you will really enjoy it. So please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you're liking what you're seeing, so you can be updated when so you can be notified when we update new and upload new content. Today's movie, the 1989 slasher flick. I promise, all of these Have You Seen It episodes are not going to be slasher flicks. I know the first one was, and this one is. It's just happened to work out this way. So again, 1989. The movie is Intruder. It takes place in a grocery store. The premise is somebody's going through and killing off all of the night crew of this store that is going to be closing down. The whole thing is, though, too, it's a whodunit. Because it starts off, one of the cashiers has an ex-boyfriend who is going to prison for manslaughter. Apparently got into a bar fight. The guy he's fighting ends up dead. He's just gotten out. He shows up at the store, starts harassing the girl and a couple of the other cashiers. The rest of the staff comes out. They grab the guy, they wrestle with him, they end up tossing him out. The staff doesn't find out the store's closing until after this. The owner comes out and says, hey, the store's been losing a lot of money. I can't keep doing this, so I have to sell it. I thank you all for all your loyalty to the store, all your hard work, and hey, you're gonna get great severance packages. I'm going to take care of you, but I got to sell the store. I'm out of here. It's closing down. It's done. It's over. And then shortly after, people start dying. So the question is, who is it? Did the ex-boyfriend sneak his way back in? Is it one of the staff? Is it somebody who was hiding in the store that nobody knew was there? It's one of those things you have to find out. One thing, if you do find this movie on streaming services, or even if you find some of the DVD, or even, if you find one on VHS. Does anybody still have a VCR around anymore? I do. Never gets used, but I still have one. Some of the artwork on some of the older covers will give away who the killer is. So that's an unfortunate thing. Whoever came up with that idea was, stupid. You have this whole movie where it's kind of like, who's doing it? Because you never really see the killer. You don't see the killer until he's revealed. I just let it slip too. It's definitely a he. You know that too, no matter what. Even if you find it on this, as you see the cover here on the screen, if you find that edition, I don't know what the back of that box looks like, so hopefully it doesn't reveal the killer on the back of that one. But either way, this movie is fun, especially if you like slasher movies. And it has a very interesting pedigree. The more I looked into this movie to start talking about it, I didn't even realize how deep the pedigree went on this. Some of the stuff I knew automatically, because it has Sam and Ted Raimi, and it has a cameo at the very end by Bruce Campbell. So again, icons in the horror industry. But it was written and directed by Scott Spiegel, who co-wrote Evil Dead 2 along with Sam Raimi. He went to high school with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, so they were all very close friends. And Scott Spiegel, as I looked into it, I found out that Quentin Tarantino credits Scott Spiegel with launching his career, because Scott Spiegel introduced him to the producer of this movie, Lawrence Bender. And Lawrence Bender was the one who liked Quentin's material to the point where he pushed the studio to have Quentin's movies get made. And Quentin has not forgot about him. Quentin uses Lawrence Bender a lot for producing his movies. Lawrence Bender has produced Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, From Dusk Till Dawn. He's also done Kill Bill 1 and 2, Inglourious Bastards, Good Will Hunting, and Hacksaw Ridge. And if you're into war movies, and you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, definitely check it out. That's one that it's a newer movie, so not something that we really touch on here. But who knows? Maybe I'll do a quick little blurb, a quick little video about that at some point. Um, but so again, right there, just in your writing and your producing and some of your actors, just they're legends in the movie business, especially in horror. You have Elizabeth Cox in there. Again, not a big name. You wouldn't recognize her by her name, but when you see her in the movie, you'll realize, oh yeah, I've seen her and stuff. She will look familiar. If you saw the episode we did about the Wraith in the very beginning of that movie, she's the girl in the red Daytona at the beginning of the Wraith. She was in the movie Night of the Creeps. She had an uncredited role in 16 Candles. I have to go back and see if I can find what scene she's in. Probably it's the background. Probably if you blink, you miss her. But she's been in quite a few things. You have Renee Estevez. And Estevez? Yes, that Estevez family. She's the sister of Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez, the daughter of Martin Sheen. So again, great Hollywood lineage in her. Dan Hicks, again, another close friend of Sam Raimi. He shows up in a lot of his stuff. And again, if you are a big Sam Raimi fan, you probably know who Dan Hicks is. And he's been in Evil Dead 2, Wishmaster, Darkman, goes on and on and on. And if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, you'll find this very interesting. Greg Nicotero, one of your lead producers for Walking Dead, and also effects director, his company KNB Effects does all the effects for The Walking Dead. This is the movie where they got their start. This is the movie that launched an effects team and an effects studio that now has over 800 movies and TV shows to their credit. So if you want to see where some of the top effects artists in Hollywood, the top effects studio in Hollywood got its start, this is the movie. It is great. It has a lot of fun elements to it. There's some comedy in there, some great stories, some great jokes. It just, and in most your slasher movies, you have some of that levity in there, and it's usually something that sets something up for somebody else, either how they die or a reveal of something. But it's also got a lot of really fun camera angles in it too. They experimented with a lot of different stuff. When they're calling 911, some of the camera angles, basically, it looks like you're looking up through the telephone. It's like an old rotary phone. Do you remember those? Are you old enough to remember a rotary phone? But yeah, it looks like it's looking up through the dial of their old rotary phones. Um, uh, Somebody's hiding, and you see the killer walking by, but it's shot through a large bottle of water. Maybe a big old like a water cooler, 5 gallon jug of water. Um, uh, you know, uh, at one point somebody gets killed. There's blood dripping on a light bulb, and it's basically the shot is like as if you're looking through the light bulb and watching the blood drip on it. Uh, it's fun. I really enjoy this movie. I think you will too if you haven't seen it. So please check it out, especially if you like slasher movies, especially if you like again the Raimis, and it's cool. It's cool. I've always loved it. It's been near and dear to my heart. When this movie came out, I actually worked in a grocery store. That's one how I found out about it. One of my coworkers told me about it and says you have to see this, and so it's a little bit of a personal connection there for me as well. So this movie, if you want to check it out, if you haven't seen it before, you can check it out. It's available on Amazon Prime if you got that. You have to rent it. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it's less than $5 probably to rent the movie. If you've heard of the Tubi or Tubi.com, Tubi, that's available. It's available on there. You can watch that for free. Now that website and app, if you're not familiar with it, it's free because there are commercials and it hasn't been edited for time or content or anything else, but there are brief, usually either 30 or 60-second commercials in there. And it's cool though because it'll kind of give you a little warning in the upper corner of your screen, let you know it's coming. So it's not like those ads that pop up sometimes, on YouTube and other streaming services where suddenly you're watching it in the middle of a scene and suddenly there's there's this commercial. Where did this come from? So you check that out. And if you want to explore other avenues, I've discovered this other website, and we're not sponsored by these guys, but I'm going to throw it out there, and I'll put it in the description for the video as well, called, I believe it's pronounced My Movie. It's MAI Movie. I assume it's My because it looks like the way they pronounce like a Mai Tai. Drink much? Yeah. So anyway, I'll put the link there. You can go onto that website. You can search for this movie or any other movie that you might be wanting to find, again, that maybe you don't have already in your personal collection, regardless of what format it's in. They'll let you know what streaming services it's available on. So you can, if you see the ones that you already subscribe to, you can click on it, takes you right to it, and whether it's free, you have to rent it, whatever, or you can at least explore maybe some of these other streaming services if you don't have the ones that it's available on. So thank you for watching. Again, if you're enjoying the show, like it, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. If you've seen this movie before, comment on this video. Let me know you've seen it. Let me know what you thought of it. If you haven't seen it, and if you go and check it out, come back. Let me know what you thought about it. I'd love to hear it. So, until the next time, I'm Matt Sunner. I'm reminding you to think about the movies that you loved from the past. When you were young, the stuff that really stuck with you, the ones you really, really loved, the stuff that you know you've seen. And ask yourself, have you seen it lately? If not, you should change that. Till next time, thanks for watching.